Hey everybody, welcome back. And I have been using the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL for a little over a month now, and there are things that I like and I don't like. I want to clarify before people start attacking the dislike button that this is the phone that is in my pocket the most. It is my personal favorite phone to use daily. I really like it. But for this video, I want to talk about 5 things I hope Google can improve on with 10 series next year. So let's get right into it. One of my main reasons for going with Android over iPhone is the ability to customize my phone exactly how I want it. For example, I don't need a company to tell me where I should want my Google search bar. Maybe I want it above the dock, below the dock, or just as a separate floating widget. Anywhere on my screen, right? Or maybe I just don't want a search bar at all, for how at least I want to use my phone. Welcome to the Pixel software experience. Because of the release of iOS 18 and all the things you can now finally do to make your iPhone unique, stock Android 15 looks more and more boring. This doesn't mean I don't like it. On the contrary, I love my Pixel software. But there are times where I want to modify it so I don't have to switch to a third-party launcher like Nova Launcher or Niagara Launcher. Now, I mentioned the search bar, but what about the At a Glance widget at the top of the home screen? Well, let's just remove it, right? It's an Android. I can do anything. It shouldn't be an issue. Wait a second. You're telling me you can't remove that thing? Let me know down below if Google let you remove At a Glance. Would you keep it or delete it? Or even things like greater use of the overall home screen grid or the padding. It's the little things like look at the gap or padding between my dock and my folders here. It's just wasted space. Add in the wasted space of the At a Glance widget, and I can't really remove that either, and it can really get annoying when you're customizing your phone. I think there is a very easy solution to this because it's already been solved, and that is by Samsung. Samsung's One UI already offers more customization options than Google, but in addition to that, for users who want even more customization, they have something called Good Luck. This opens the doors to basically eliminate the need or desire to switch to a third-party launcher. I think Google can do something very similar. Yes, keep the Pixel software vanilla. I get it, and to be completely honest, it isn't a bad thing at all. But have a separate Google app that can be downloaded that can add greater customization for all those nerds who love tinkering with their phones to get their home screen to look exactly how they want it to. And speaking of people getting what they want, well, this is quite the opposite of that, and that is the price. The price on this phone is outrageous. Yeah, I get it. The iPhone 16 Pro Max, 256 gigabytes of storage, will run you the same exact price as a Google Pixel 9 Pro XL with the same exact storage. Great. I think both are way too expensive. And I don't want to hear in the comments, but oh, this phone costs $1,500 and you aren't complaining about that one. Listen, I think all phones these days are too expensive. Don't worry, I also have a video talking about the outrageous price of the S24 Ultra probably coming out around next week. But are we just not going to point out the fact that Google released the Pixel 8 Pro with a starting price of $999 and then released the Pixel 9 Pro for, oh wait, also $999? Then I guess we are good, right? Oh no, because the 9 series equivalent to the Pixel 8 Pro is actually the Pixel 9 Pro XL, which starts at $1,099. Now I love that they're offering a smaller Pro model this year, but the pricing should have been $899 for the smaller model and $999 for the Pro XL. Google sneaking almost a $100 price hike via an XL marketing term when it is the same size basically as the 8 Pro is kind of annoying. And just as annoying as it is to purchase a more expensive phone this year was the sad fact that the base model of this phone is still stuck at 128 gigabytes of storage. Even Apple, out of all the companies, doesn't even do that with their Pro Max models. 128 gigabytes might have been great a couple of years ago, but come on. Comment down below, are you good with only 128 gigabytes of storage in 2024, or do you think 256 gigabytes of storage would have been the right option, especially considering that high price tag? Apparently, Apple thinks so too. What world are we in where I, a very vocal Android fanboy, is using Apple as the example of how to show customers true value? Remember, this is the company with the Apple Mac Pro Wheels Kit for $700. Not exactly the gold standard of giving customers respectable deals. Come on, Google, you're not Apple. You need to give people an incentive to buy your phone, especially since there is a ton of competition in the Android market. Once you become as popular as Apple and their iPhone, where you basically can sell anything and everyone and their mom will buy it, you can then charge Apple price tags. Until then, you should have left the pricing alone. Now, since the prices won't come down, unfortunately, that's not how that works. I hope Google doesn't decide to increase the price even more next year, but something that they should increase, like a lot, is the performance. Let's talk about the Google Tensor G4. Okay, here's the thing. The Tensor G4 is incredible when you compare it to previous iterations of Google's chips. But we got to talk about it. Snapdragon is just way better. It's better in every single aspect. And when you compare the Tensor G4 to Apple's hardware, well, that doesn't look too good. Remember, this costs the same as the equivalent iPhone. Remember when Samsung used to have their Exynos chip in their Ultra phones in the international markets? Yeah, well, they kind of stopped doing that. Interesting to see what the Tensor chip is actually based on. That's not saying that it is a bad thing, but Google needs to start producing a better chip if it wants to keep charging flagship prices. It just cannot compete with the Snapdragon Gen 3 in the S24 Ultra and the A18 Pro chip in the iPhone 16 Pro Max. It's not even close. And the S25 Ultra is rumored to come with Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 chip, also known as the Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is expected to be a significant performance boost over the previous generation. Apparently, in one benchmark run, it was reported that it outperformed the iPhone 16 Pro Max's A18 Pro chip. So, we need to see significant improvements on the Tensor G5 chip if Google wants to remain competitive at the price that they're asking. And just as it's hard sometimes for companies to justify high prices and low performance, how about a paid subscription plan to go with it? Yay. Google Gemini Advanced. Okay, let's talk about it. It's not that bad. Matter of fact, as mentioned in my previous video, I use it a lot. I love summarizing articles and videos with it, and I also enjoy using Gemini Live for quick brainstorming. But let's talk about the differences between the paid version and the free version. Because, depending on you, it's not much of a difference. Here's a quick chart comparison. Pause here if you want to take a better look at it. Basically, you get early access to Google Gemini features, and the AI model that you're using is a little bit better. You won't always notice this, but yes, I have found that the answers and results I receive while using the advanced version are slightly better. If you don't use AI a lot, it probably isn't worth it. And to be completely fair, you do get 2 terabytes of Google storage with the $20 a month advanced plan, so that's important to mention. But overall, I think this was a miss on Google's part. And again, I am a Pixel fanboy. It is the phone that's in my pocket every single day. But Google does this all the time. They enter a market and then they try to charge the same amount as their competitors when their competitors are just simply doing it better, at least at this moment. ChatGPT is just better, at least right now. That could definitely change in 2025, but we will need to see. Frankly, I'm getting very tired of hearing the word subscription every time I go out and get a new product. I have too many and it's getting very costly. I guess I will one day own nothing and be happy, as they say, but that's a whole different kind of video. So that's the video. Thank you all for watching. Tell me what you think down below. Are you disappointed with the Pixel 9 Pro XL? What could Google have done better? Let's talk about it. Hit that like button if you like what I do and subscribe for more videos just like this one, and I will see all of you next time.